Pisces, welcome to your January 2024 monthly reading here. We're just going to go ahead and get started, my friends, and jump straight in. I hope all of you are doing well. Happy New Year to all of you. If you want to book a personal reading with me, that link will be down below in the description. I was running a sale, or I still am running a sale. It'll be till January 9th at midnight Central Time. The readings are $77 if you want one, or if you're curious about it, you can check out the link in the description. Also, well, no, that's it. Let's go ahead and get into it. But yeah, the price will go back up to $99, but it'll still be on sale too. It's still on the low. Usually the readings are $133, so you're still getting a really good deal. All right, let's see, Pisces. There's something about divine will, and also too, it's so interesting because I'm thinking about the Judgment card right now, and it's the archetype of Pluto. And oh, the Judgment card did come out too. Okay, yeah. And during the pre-shuffle, you had two cards kind of talk to me. They like flipped out really hard. One of them was courage, and the other one was transformation. And that really does deal with like surrendering to the divine, right? And having like divine will, right? So it's like embracing transformation, not being afraid of transformation. And it's interesting too. I mean, it can be on in regards to a lot of things, and we'll specify that as we go. But with the Judgment card being your advice for the reading, and by the way, well, the Temperance and the Sun card here, this is exactly what you want to see when it comes to the Judgment card itself, because it's Pluto. Right, this new form coming together, this new sense of awakening, and this new sense of being here that I see you in with the Sun card, that is more consciously aware, more happy, more positive. But the Temperance is, I do see in the future, it's like that reformulation process. It's like you finding the balance, you actually finding more grace with this Temperance. And I do see like there is this connection with that you're merging with in regards to you and your higher self, right? The Two of Cups can point to love. I do see love in the reading. However, the Two of Cups is also like when we're connected to our higher selves, right? If you can see in the middle, the caduceus, it represents like it's almost like the sense of Kundalini activation, a sense of spiritual awakening, right? Now, a lot of you could have already gone through your awakening. I feel like we're always continuing to awaken more and more. We're not just awake, right? We're finding out more and more and more about this crazy place of reality, right? And about ourselves and our place in it. And so I do see here that you're coming to a sense of enlightenment, and there's a full illumination with the Sun card in the outcome, that it's like a newer you. It's a newer you being birthed here. So a lot of you may be fearing success, right? The Six of Wands in the challenge is the card of success, personal success, in regards to our mission, in regards to our journey, in regards to our purpose. But there's nothing to really fear. Like the Judgment saying like, don't fear, like leave it up to God, right? Like, and now some people don't like that word God, the universe, spirit, whatever you want to call it. The Judgment is like stepping fully into your purpose, right? And not being afraid, acting in alignment and being in integrity and being in your truth. The Death card is in the position of something that you're unaware of. This is also a card of transformation. And so you are going through a transformation at this time, but it's interesting. I feel like the worst is over though, right? Because after the Death card actually is the Temperance card, right? And so we go through this period of, a metaphorical death, and then we go to the Temperance card to where there's wisdom from the transformational process itself, and we start to find our balance, and we start to reformulate things, and we start to get back to a more harmonious way, a better way of living, one that is rejuvenated by faith, right? Or with faith, or by faith, whatever you want to say. So I do see though a lot of you at this time are really focused on your stability, your foundation, also creation here with the Queen of Pentacles. It's interesting too, I did see there's a rabbit in this card, right? And even with the pre-shuffle, when I was shuffling these cards, I was seeing the rabbit appeared, and it represents like fears, like the fear of like giving birth to something new, right? Like when we have to face our fears, it's like we have all this energy and we're like, we feel the spontaneous urge to step fully into something or to make a final decision, Judgment card, and to commit to something. And so it's almost like you're like fidgety. Like there's like this fidgety energy, but there's no need to be fidgety. It's like what you're actually stepping into is, like if you step fully into it, then I see you going through a really big transformational process. But it doesn't seem like it's a transformational process to where there's like pain right with it, or where there's like difficulty. It more seems to me it's like it's liberating with the Temperance here, and also the Sun card. The Sun card is a card of liberation, pure freedom, pure joy. So there's a lot of Scorpio energy right here. Death card, Judgment. And, Scorpio is if you just break down Scorpio, it's defiant passion, right? I learned that from Vic DeCara, just really great astrologer, by the way, but it's this sense of defiance and facing these and going to these deeper depths within ourselves. And that's what spurs on transformation, right? So you have this Uranus card, it says change. And it's interesting, when I was saying fidgety and like the spontaneous urge, that's what Uranus is, right? To go beyond what one has been doing, or to go beyond what one has done before, right? So it's like breaking convention. It's like Uranus is like, I'm ready for liberation, because Uranus is also the planet of liberation. It's like you're ready to liberate yourself, and then you do it by stepping fully into the Judgment, right? Because there's these parts of yourself that have been laying dormant that are now becoming active, right? And what that will look like is like if you have certain passions, or there's been certain things in the past that you've done that you're very passionate about, or maybe things that you've thought of but you put down. Or it can just be new things that come up from your unconscious into your conscious awareness. And it's like, holy shit, like this makes sense. Like, holy shit, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to step into. The Judgment is a sense of reawakening that brings a new form of purpose to an individual. So your advice is to make that decision and to fully commit. I feel like it'll be beautiful, because with the Temperance and the Sun card, I mean, those are two, I'm not gonna say the most beautiful cards, but they are two beautiful cards. You have this Wonders card, the wonders of the universe. You can even see that it looks like a galaxy. Some of you could be working with crystals. I'm seeing that here. I'm seeing amethyst specifically. It could be really any crystal though. But it's just like the wonders, right? Like it's almost as if you're realizing like there's so much more. Like Uranus is that realization like, wow, there's actually a lot more. But it's like, and so it's like we have to take a leap of faith, right? We have to trust that, because Uranus is revolution, it's change. We understand like, oh shit, there's actually a lot more. Let's see. Like you're finding a lot more of yourself, right? Because the Sun card is conscious awareness, right? It's pure illumination, enlightenment. Damn. All right, Pisces, hold on. Pull this Cunning card. It says stealth. It says wolf. It says a lot to deal with like trusting in your own instinct with things, right? Because if you think about a wolf, like they're alphas, right? And I'm just talking about the frequency of alpha here, so just save the comments. But it is about being confident, taking action in the direction of where it is that you want to go, relying upon yourself, trust. Because like, and it's also leadership too, right? Like alpha deals with leadership energy. The wolf is a leader of the pack, right? And so a leader has to like rely on itself and its own instincts, right? And so the wolf is saying like to trust your instincts and to step fully into what your what you're intuitively picking up, right? Like what you're feeling called to do. The judgment is the trumpet call. It's like what you're feeling called to do. What you're feeling called to. Right? So reawakening purpose. Let's go ahead and clarify this. Two of Cups. Queen of Cups. It's interesting because Pisces, you are like the sign of like that deep sense of self-awareness that, like, Pisces is inconclusive. It's infinite, right? Infinite waters, Pisces. You're discovering more and more about yourself and your inner world, and you're becoming more and more familiar with who you truly are. And it's like you're starting to embrace that part of yourself, which is leading you toward like these deeper realizations of like what you want out of life and what you want in general with your life. I'm also seeing like you, like this month is going to feel very, Two of Cups, Queen of Cups is like, it's going to feel very cancerous, or like Cancer, the zodiac sign, right? Like very nurturing, right? You finding comfortability, you finding support, you finding inner nourishment. I feel like there's like an emotional surrender, right? Like a receiving, like a lot, being open to receive. Like you're becoming open to receive. Clarify this Queen of Pentacles for the current energy. Got the Page of Pentacles. You're just focused on applying yourself, making improvements, making the effort, building the structures and the foundation, whether that's applying yourself to work, projects, or even just working on yourself, right? Like Queen of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles is also an energy of like where one works on their own, just overwhelmed. Like it could even be like you get in better shape, or like you start to make improvements in regards to like in the arena of health and stuff like that. So it's just in general, you're just making improvements. That is making your life more, it's impacting your overall well-being. Clarify this Six of Wands in the challenge. You have the Four of Swords. Yeah. There's never a right time, right? Like, I'm going to show you this. The Judgment's like trumpet calls here. You got to take action, or you got to step fully into whatever this is. You got to make a decision. Six of Wands and the Four of Swords is like when where we're seeking success, but we're being too passive, right? The Four of Swords is like we're waiting for the right moment. We're waiting for everything to be balanced and perfect. That will come, but it almost seems to me like it comes when you step fully into something and commit yourself to something, or commit yourself to whatever this is. What is this Judgment card? Seven of Swords, facing your fears, to not avoid, right? Seven of Swords in the Judgment is like you're avoiding, or you're buying time, right? Like Seven of Swords can be not necessarily that we're avoiding things in a bad way. It's just like we're feeling like we need to come up with the perfect plan. Like we're feeling like we need to strategize. And so the Judgment card and the Seven of Swords is just, your advice here is basically being honest with yourself and being like, am I just, what's that word? I'm like procrastinating? Like, am I just procrastinating? Or am I being too skeptical? right? Because there is this curiosity with Uranus and the judgment here, but it's like being more curious rather than skeptical of answering the call fully and stepping fully into something, right? There's nothing to fear. And I don't think it's mainly fear at all. It's just more so just like, are you ready? You know, like your advice is like, the universe is ready for you to step fully into divine will. It's like whether or not, but it's maybe you're not feeling ready, or maybe you are ready. But also to the Seven of Swords could be like creating strategies and tactics, having strategies and tactics, coming up with a game plan that you coming up with that and then acting, right? You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes we feel like we have to find the perfect plan, but sometimes we actually do need a plan. And so that's where the Seven of Swords wanting you to be honest with yourself in regards to that. Like what's the deep truth of that? And you'll know where you're at with that, right? If you truly reflect and ask yourself, you'll know where you're at with that. Clarify this Temperance in the future. Six of Wands. So boom. This is the success. This is the Six of Wands in the challenge, right? So it's like, I'm telling you, it's like the success comes is like as soon as like you are ready to fully step into it, right? And I feel like it'll go a lot better than you think it will go, because the judgment does bring some type of fear with it because it's Pluto. Because we know we're about to step into something fully, or we know like we're gonna have to commit ourselves to this, or commit ourselves to something, right? So it can bring up that uncertainty and that fear. But it's actually, that's why in the very beginning of the reading, when I was pre-shuffling your card, courage and transformation came out. It's like having the courage to step into transformation. And that's what you're doing though. You go from the Death card to the Temperance. You go from transformation to reformulation, wisdom, harmony, having fun with the creative process as well, and also feeling pride, a healthy sense of pride, because it's like you are taking these bold steps forward that is expanding like your success, and even just making you feel better on a personal level. Clarify this Death card before we go to the Sun card. Pull the Seven of Cups. Something you're unaware of. Yeah, it's like a diagram, right? Like this was a transformational side that you were in. Now you're like in the middle, and this new thing is like the rebirth on this side. Right? And so it's like you're kind of in the middle. Like the transformation's already happened, but you're like haven't stepped fully into the rebirth. Like you're going through a process of rebirth, but you haven't stepped fully into like the newer sense of self that you're creating, and the newer sense of reality that you're creating with the Sun card. Clarify this Sun card for the outcome. Pull the Nine of Swords. It's like your fears never existed in the first place, right? Like, I'll pull one more on this. The Page of Wands. You ever have been nervously excited or nervously happy? Like, let's just say, like, I don't know, like, I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but I see you being happy, but it's almost like, how do you explain that, what I'm trying to explain? Like, the best fucking example I can use at this time is like a YouTube channel, right? There's almost like when you do it, you're like, holy shit, like it's like you're happy, but there's also kind of like a nervous fear too, like a nervousness, but it's not even, it's more like of an excitement, especially with the Page of Wands that you pulled here as well for the second clarifier. Like a kind of like a, all right, here we go. It's like when you get to the top of the roller coaster and then it drops, right? The fun part of the ride. That's the Sun card, Nine of Swords. Page of Wands. So enjoy the ride, Pisces. So Otherwise than that, I'm gonna leave your reading there, Pisces. I appreciate y'all for watching. If you want to book a personal reading with me, that link will be down below, of course, in the description, if you're curious about that. I'll answer any specific question that you have. And yeah, feel free to subscribe to the channel, like the video if you haven't liked it yet. If this resonated with you, also click the notification bell as well. You'll get notified whenever I upload your videos. Otherwise than that, I'll see y'all later.